Okay, welcome to Roundtable 15, June 29th, 2017, How Technologies Develop, the original 21st Century Vision Business Roundtable, broadcasting independently. Well, it's a New York City, New York Gold Tours meetup, broadcasting independently 45 minutes a month about business relevancies from a meeting room at the Science, Industry, and Business branch of the New York Public Library on Madison Avenue, New York City. Okay, so before I begin, I'll go through the books and magazines like I always do of relevant topics. So the Smithsonian, Are We Being Seduced by Robotics or by Robots? A Visit to the World Capital of Intelligent Machines. Vogue, and they have some new technologies showing in fabrications of featherworks. Wired, One More Thing, Inside Apple's insanely great new mothership, their new grounds. Where they want to keep it all under one roof. Scientific American, The Web of Memories. A technical revolution reveals how the brain links memories and shapes our experience of the world. Popular Science. How global warming makes storms worse. Disaster-proof your house. I talk a little bit about disaster-proofing your house. That was an idea I came up with. Okay, so Skyscraper. It's just a cool book with great architectural buildings. By Eric Howler. The Design of Future Things by Donald A. Norman. Engineering Victory, How Technology Won the Civil War, Thomas F. Army, Jr. You are here, around the world in 92 minutes. And it's always great to see the perspective of our planet from outer space by Chris Hadfield. Great pictures. Age of Discovery, Navigating the Risks and Rewards of Our New Renaissance by Ian Golden and Chris Kutarna. The Industrial Design Reference and Specification Book, Everything Industrial Designers Need to Know Every Day. This is by Cafaro, Blackman, Covert, Cafaro, Latourie, Sears. Connected, How Trains, Jeans, Pineapples, Piano Keys, and a Few Disasters Transformed Americans at the Dawn of the 20th Century by Stephen Cassidy. The Inventor's Bible, revised and expanded, Ronald Lewis Dorsey, Sr., How to Market and License Your Brilliant Ideas. About patents and things like that. Okay, high-tech, high-touch customer service. Inspire timeless loyalty in the demanding new world of social commerce by Micah Solomon. And lastly, global design. Peter Anger, Louise Hardman, and Mitchell Jones. Okay. Okay. Welcome. Okay. So, thanks for dropping in. I'm host Loretta Jones, CEO of New York Gold Tours. Once we begin promoting these 21st Century Vision social media and local events a little more, they'll accommodate 9 business leaders who RSVP on meetup.com to meet local to global here with me onto Periscope and the web. Come to one or come to all. I'll start each of 3 segments with talking points that I've written out into few-minute sections of fresh new ideas, inviting experts or anyone concerning business to join in, then a 10-minute discussion following each segment. So that's anyone with an opinion, really, can join in, of course. Hi, welcome. Later, there will be video of the roundtable posted on YouTube, so it can be used to structure talks in your own organization. Okay, it's free on Periscope, Skype, YouTube, Google+. Join the conversations on Facebook and Pinterest. Follow New York Gold Tours on Twitter and Instagram for free cleansing visuals. So definitions: technology, tool, technique, or system that gets us to a next stage of production, profit, or presence in a gainful way of efficiency. First talking points: empathy and need. Seeing major flooding across the globe and empathizing for people left with nothing to do about water rushing up against their homes, I wonder about technologies that could help them. I just heard a news report of a woman who, having seen the rising tides, described her family putting some belongings in their car and leaving, not wanting to just watch their truck submerge. And I thought, why doesn't someone design elevators for driveways to elevate cars from floods? Or better yet, drain systems for towns to funnel the waters to something useful like energy creation. Aren't there people with jobs revolving around such matters? From my own humble opinion or position, I should acknowledge there probably are tons of people working out very real logistics of some same such suggestions. Those are the type of solution-driven technologies inspired by problems. Other times, competition raises the bar, like the space race. The arms race isn't something without regret, but shows definite ability to take strides whenever attention is put to an ambition. But which type of technologies seem the quickest to yield the most progress? Are they the type with the empathy factor, or the types with growth, competition, efficiency in mind? Are they those funded by private or public sector? I think the products of empathy most resemble those of need, and when coupled together can reap the most reward. I bought my son a Milo by Sony back before the smartphone when we were living in a temporary situation, and I wanted him to be able to stay in touch with his friends. Knowing the move we had to make would be hard on him. It was a little handheld device, which I have here to show. This is the Milo. It came in this case, and it was by Sony, and it had this little keyboard on it. And so anyway, that was the Milo, and it was before smartphones, and it allowed him to access the internet. that enabled him to, like I just said, valuable since we didn't have our computer and Facebook kept his world alive and active beyond the new school he was in, connecting his old to his new existence. It was really great, and all that's come since. I personally, with all the rest of the world, have watched technologies engage us in so much more than we ever thought possible. But there's so much more left wanting. Hi, welcome. What are some areas technology needs to catch up to better serve the needs of the people? Needs like life on this planet, happiness, well-being. Before we discuss that, a quote about empathy found on brainyquote.com. Humans aren't as good as we should be in our capacity to empathize with feelings and thoughts of others, be they humans or other animals on Earth. So maybe part of our formal education should be training in empathy. Imagine how different the world would be if, in fact, that were reading, writing, arithmetic, empathy by Neil deGrasse Tyson. So now 10 minutes to discuss how technologies develop. First, talking points. When empathy's in the picture, where might technology take us? Okay, so I hope people will join in and give me their opinions now on technology and empathy and where it might take us. Hi, welcome. Glad you joined in. Okay, and the video will pause for its discussions in their own organizations for a 10-minute pause. Okay. So I can think of like examples of seeing people in China. I live here in New York, but on different things on the web or on TV, I've seen people in China wearing respiratory masks or they're like surgical masks to filter their respiration from being affected by all the pollution and smog that's there. And I believe that's going to be a world problem, you know, sooner than later, right? I mean, is it not? I mean, they might need something like reverse windmills filtering the air at every traffic light or every, orientation there. I don't know how it could get that bad, but I know the over-industrialization there caused it. But and traveling at this time in the world is at an all-time high. We connect better than ever across the globe. Those of us who can't go past our own vicinities are branching out, like I am right here on the web, and in all different ways over the web. So I wonder if that'll increase our compassion for others, being able to see, hear, and witness living situations firsthand, and personally independent inventions may become more and more prevalent. And if companies add new technology teams to their premises, world issues will be solved while they focus on their own, surely. So it's just my thought. Hey, welcome. Any thoughts on technology, how technologies develop with empathy in mind? Okay. Well, we can go on to the second. Hi, welcome. We can go on to the second talking points, and the video can resume. Second talking points, tragic innovation. Who didn't want to forget the images of 9/11 in 2001 after the planes had struck the towers and the people on top floors were stuck? simply stuck with no recourse than to maybe jump out those top floor windows by sheer need to escape, only to be reminded of it by seeing the blazing tower in London just 2 weeks ago. People left to no device of safety. I remember in 2001 talking with my young son about what could have been made about what could have made that outcome different. If only there were parachutes on every high floor, tucked under radiators at bases of windows, like I'd similarly seen for a good part of my life on the Staten Island ferry, providing lifesavers under each seat just in case of emergency. I know after 9/11, or September 11th, there was talk of better building codes and better designs to stave off the types of mass destruction we all witnessed, but how much really was put in place, who knows? Does everyone turn away, or do some remain committed to working on solutions? New technologies that can bring us to new levels of safety. We have a proposed defense budget of $640 billion for 2018 in the U.S. And how much the world over spends, I don't know, but together gains can be made. Again, I've no idea the actuals of all the things I'd surely be in awe of if I knew of them, so I ask any experts out there to say. But I see more tragedies than solutions, so I'm saying. Before we discuss that, a thought about unexamined tragedy and a quote found on brainyquote.com. While we have the gift of life, it seems to me the only tragedy is to allow part of us to die, whether it is our spirit, our creativity, or our glorious uniqueness. And that's by Gilda Radner. If anyone remembers her, she was on Saturday Night Live many years ago, probably earlier than much of the audience here. But yeah, she had hair that went out like a triangle. So my family used to say I was like her, Rosanna, Dad. Anyway, so now 10 minutes to discuss how technologies develop. Second talking points. In trying to solve an issue, one's higher gifts might be realized. Like Einstein's advice that may need temperance, but working toward higher callings can lift one's capabilities. And welcome, by the way. Okay, so now we'll take 10 minutes to discuss. The video can pause for a break to have discussions in their own organizations. Enjoy. And we can discuss on Periscope. So I was thinking if budgets were put into creativity of each person's uniqueness, being developed to their best potential, how might that go? How much misguided energies could be avoided, and how much more constructive gains might be made? Not just for defense then, but for everything. It would probably cost less in the end, too. Hi, welcome. Okay, so if anyone wants to discuss, I'd love to hear your opinions. All right, so the video will resume, and we'll go on to the third talking point, new. Last week, the White House launched the first annual meeting of their new American Technology Council to modernize government services and White House systems, and had Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and the other onlys, along with some university heads, etc., to brainstorm new ways to modernize the White House. It seems what we've come to know as tech industries leave a lot of potential out of the equation when thinking about new frontiers for our White House, our country, our cities and towns. Tech might be better thought of as a necessary ingredient in any undertaking or entity, not just the technology sector. The White House did have the right idea, though, in naming and creating its own tech team. Shouldn't every business have theirs beyond information technology, but centered around technology development? Technology or new frontier type gains, development in every front, not just centered around computers, smart aspects, gadgets, and web. We have done good though, right? Where would invention of the light bulb fall in today's world tech terminology? Would it be a smart cell? What are some ways we can expand thoughts of technology across industries? Before we discuss that, a quote about technology found on brainyquote.com. Technology is nothing. What's important is that you have faith in people, that they're basically good and smart. And if you give them tools, they'll do wonderful things with them. By Steve Jobs. So 10 minutes to discuss how technologies develop. Third talking points, creating the new. Okay, so the video can pause for a 10-minute discussion. For the final 10-minute discussion. And we can start online. Hey, welcome. So I often find myself thanking God for running water, for the basics of life. So I'm really in awe of technologies that we have. Light, smartphones, smart homes, the web. So I know there are tons of people deserving tons of credit, but there's room for so much more, in my belief. We have just to put our minds, our hearts, and our wallets to it, to new technology across boards. Hey, welcome. Any opinions on technology? Okay. Well, I'm so glad everyone joins in. And please remember to come back on every last Thursday of every month and come with your opinions and join the discussion. Okay, so take care and best of luck to everyone. It won't stop broadcasting. Okay.